Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, we are back. We're gonna finish this run delivering, what are we delivering? I don't even know. Pork, 18 tons of pork to Stockholm. It's only gonna be 363 kilometers, should only take us about 5 hours and 50 minutes. We're gonna get there Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. And we have 10 hours and 43 minutes to complete the job. We need to sleep at 9 hours, so we won't need to sleep on this run. Gonna get about 11,000 euros, and we need to get there by Wednesday at 6:50 or Wednesday at 1:30. So we'll see if we can. Oh, I need a shift. We'll see if we can pull that off. I think we can. That's good. We're gonna be rolling into Stockholm when it's day. That is good. This road system is just weird. It's dead out here. There's nobody. I haven't seen a single pair of headlights. It's crazy weird. What is it, a roundabout? Yep. So yeah, I remember in the last recording session I didn't know how to use a roundabout. I still don't know how to use a roundabout, and somebody tweeted me with a picture of how to learn to use a roundabout. I'm not going to learn to use a roundabout. Roundabouts don't exist in the US, and if they do, they're single lane. I've gone through a roundabout before, but they're single lane roundabouts, which are pretty easy because you just yield if you're entering, that's it, and then you just go around it. But when they're two lanes, there's so many, like, oh, if you're going around once or something, you gotta go in the inside. It doesn't, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to learn how to use a roundabout. It will never apply to me in real life. So I do not want to learn how to use a roundabout. So don't get on me about I didn't go in the right lane on the roundabout. It doesn't matter. I don't care. So I don't get it. The roundabouts are better in ways, but we just don't have them here. And I think this one looks like a single lane. I'm not sure. God, that is so bad. The wheel feels so terrible. And it sucks because I've literally gone into the gaming profiler, the Logitech gaming profiler for the wheel, and I've turned off force feedback, spring, damper. I've turned everything off to try to get as little resistance on the motors as possible, because the only thing I want is center, spring. So when I turn, it will then center the wheel. That's all I want. Because without it, when you have the power unplugged for the force feedback, it's nothing. You turn the wheel and it just sticks there. So it's just really difficult to, drive properly. Holy shit, that truck is coming out of nowhere and he's flying, and he's gonna make a right in front of me. Come on, you freaking look before you pull out. Jesus. Such in a rush, and then he's gonna pull out on the road and do 40. Like, come on, dude. I got a delivery to make. I don't know about, he was flying down that road, but just, stupid drivers. Okay. I'm gonna have to make a right-hand turn up here, because we all know that right-hand turns don't sound horrific. That was not a good shift. Nobody coming. We're good. All right. So yeah, another cool thing about the wheel that I'll mention, and I know I'm talking about it a lot, but I'm excited. That's what I want right now. Is it actually has on-the-fly wheel adjustments, so you can adjust the force feedback, the degrees of rotation, the spring strength. You can adjust all that on the fly. I don't even need to leave the game to do that, which is very cool, because a good example is like Project Cars. Project Cars is one of those games that kind of requires that change of degrees of rotation, because when you're in a road car, you have 900 degrees, just like when you drive your daily car. It's 900 degrees of rotation. That's what it is. There's a lot of rotation. But when you get into something like an F1 car, or maybe a go-kart, or something that is just meant for racing, they don't have 900 degrees of rotation in them. And the only thing that you can either do is just deal with it, which is what I do. I always just run 900, so I just deal with it. It's not a pain to me. I don't get bothered. But what Jeff does is Jeff will, tab out of the game, go into his profiler, and change his degrees of rotation. Yeah, sure, that's not a big pain to do either, but he likes to have that degree of rotation change. For me, it's not that big of a deal, but now the thing, I would like it changed if I didn't have to leave the game and do it. But now that I don't have to, I'll definitely be changing the degrees of rotation. These roads are so interesting. Crazy. But I'll definitely be changing the degrees of rotation, more often now that I can do it without even tabbing out of the game, which is really cool. I like that. And like if the force feedback's too much, or the spring or damper or anything is too much, you can just adjust that on the fly. It's really, really cool. And because I'm glad he's taking the right. This is so weird. Are roads really like this in Sweden? Like just very heavily painted and like going from narrow to wide to narrow to, it's just crazy. Crazy road system. It's fun. It's cool. It's a lot different than the normal stuff, which I like. Becoming day, which is really nice. But yeah, because the wheel is licensed by Porsche, it actually has a real Porsche badge in the center, which is that's not a selling point to me, but it's cool. I mean, it's whatever. I don't dislike it because of that. But the one thing that is kind of cool is it has the actual material around the wheel that they put in the real Porsche wheels, which is really cool. I mean, obviously, it's not a real sized wheel. It's not to scale. But for what it is, for having that material on there, I think that'll be pretty cool. Because the G27 is leather, and the leather feels really good. But the one thing that I can say about it is if you have sweaty hands, if you're a person that sweats from their hands, a G27 over a long time, will just build up gunk. And then as you're driving, when you're done, you look at your hands are kind of like, they're dirty. You're like, what the heck? It's just all the crud that just eventually gets put onto the wheel and then eventually peeled off. So, it's I don't know, it happens. But what I've done is I bought some interior wipe cleaners for like my cars in real life. I actually went and got those and wiped off my wheel and my shifter and all that, and that made a big difference. Like that, it feels like when the G27 was new. But the leather's really nice. I like it, but I think it would be cool to have a different material. And a lot of people say that material feels really good, but it's the same problem. You sweat into it, it gets dirty, and it gets disgusting. So that was kind of a disadvantage. But I can just clean it up. It's not going to be that difficult. So. But it has more buttons on it, which I'm excited about because I can still use my shifter, because any G27 owner out there knows that you have more buttons on your shifter than you do on your wheel. You only have 6 on your wheel, and the 2 paddle shifters if you count those. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the paddle shifters. So that's really nice. I like having the option of a lot of buttons, because I used to have the wheel that Zach owns now, which is the Driving Force GT. I used to have that exact wheel. He actually, he bought it from me. So that wheel had 20-something buttons on it. That thing was covered in buttons, and it was a dream to configure because you could set literally everything you wanted with that. Any button that you could imagine you can have on that wheel. Then you come to a G27 and you have not many. Like, 4, 8, I guess 12, 15, 18, 20 max, if that. So you lose like 6 to 8 buttons. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It really is. So, that big change, you're like, man, I wish I can configure more of this stuff, but you just can't. So, it is what it is. I'm not too, I wasn't too discouraged about it. It sucked, but it, wasn't a deal breaker. So I'm just excited to get a new wheel that has a little more buttons. I think that'll be pretty cool to be able to configure some more stuff. So it looks like a nice wheel. It's not bad. I'm glad that I looked into it a little bit more before I decided to go with the GT2 and spent $70 more on pretty much the same thing. Because at the end of the day, the little accessories and the amenities that the wheel has doesn't matter to me. It's about the feel and the force feedback engines and motors and all that, and those two have the same exact ones. So if you're a person though that is getting into like, you know, racing games and you want to be serious without like breaking the bank, I still highly recommend going with a G27, because then you'll get your clutch and your H pattern shifter and you won't break the bank. And then eventually, if you want, like me, you can go and you can upgrade the wheel and get a better wheel that has better force feedback in it and still have your clutch and H pattern shifter. So, because like there's wheels out there that you can buy with the clutch and H pattern shifter, but you're going to spend a lot of money. So G27 is definitely a very, very, very good base to start on. So I still do highly recommend it, and I always will. I really liked it. I still really like it. It's just the motors are just dead or dying. So it is what it is. Just happens. I'm not too concerned about it. But all right, let's go ahead and just have a check-in and see. Oh, we're only 109 kilometers away. Only gonna take us another hour and 45 minutes. Wow, we blew through that. Should have paid more attention. I was just like looking down at how far we had to go and blew through that intersection. Good thing I didn't have any yields or anything. Or I didn't see any. Maybe I did. Shit, I don't know. Whatever. I feel like I've been all over the place with this recording session. I don't know why. Typically when I do an ETS2, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I had some good talking points, but this one I just feel like I'm all over. I'm not sure why. Don't fucking. So yeah. We are we're cruising. I'm really liking the scenery. The scenery is really nice. I'm glad that we're gonna get into Stockholm when it's day. I'm really glad about that. I want to see it. And I know if Zach watches this, he'll be excited, because he you know, he's a big Sweden person, you know, his Saabs and whatnot. So he'll be excited to see the Scandinavia DLC. I know he was excited about it when it was, you know, announced and everything, and he was loving the pictures that they were putting out and all that. So, all right. My sun looks amazing. Oh man, we are getting close, and I've pretty much ran out of things to talk about. It's been a long day. In game and in real life. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that video out today like I wanted to. Kind of slacked. Wasn't in the mood at all last night to record this Euro truck. And I needed the first video for today. And unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Well, it might, but it's not going to be on time. Definitely not. It's already 3 p.m. and it needs to go out at 5. So that's most likely not going to happen. Let me turn my lights off. I think we're good with lights. Everyone else still has theirs on, but that sun is just so blinding that I don't need the reflection of the lights blinding me even more. Oop, that was not good. Okay, what are we doing up here? Are we gonna have to like merge off or something? No. What the heck? Weird. What is happening up here with this? It's not a clover leaf, it's like a... Oh, do I stay in this lane? I'm gonna stay in this lane. I don't know what I'm doing. Stockholm. That's where I want to go. What the heck? This is a really... Whoa, what the fuck? This is a really weird interchange. Oh, am I doing this right? Yeah. What the... Wow. Oh. Oh, shoot. Good thing nobody was coming. Let's also not go this fast. How about that? This is weird. Oh, I've never driven through anything like this before in any game. That is crazy. Is that like the interchange for... That is weird. Huh. So that's like the Sweden interchange, like our Cloverleafs pretty much, but... Huh. I was very confused. I was legitimately confused about what I was doing. Oh, check that out. Oh, that's awesome. Man, they did a great job. They really did. Looks amazing. Stockholm. Okay. So all we need to do now is just drop the truck off. We'll drop the trailer off. Oops, that was supposed to be a downshift. Drop the trailer off and we should be good. And I believe we're going to have a skill point to spend, but we don't have much left to fill up, so... We're looking pretty clear. I love all the IKEA signs around, that's pretty cool. Oh, what am I doing right now? Wait a second, what? Oh, am I going to drop off in the Norfood? This is like a Walmart, pretty much. Oh, this is awesome. Am I going to drop it in the back? Oh, this is awesome. This is so cool. Wow. There's a security guard there with the... Okay. Oh. Oh, look at this. That is so cool. Alright, let's try to get this trailer in. That is not gonna work. God. Oh, I thought I had more to turn, and I didn't. That is a freaking horrific noise. I don't know if you guys actually might not be able to hear it. I don't know. It's either going to be super quiet or it's going to be extremely loud. One or the other. All right, so we went 368 kilometers. Took us 4 hours, 45 minutes, 143 liters of fuel. We got 11,000 euros and 505 XP, so we did rank up. How do we... Skills, here we go. Let's go ahead and just add that 1 point, just-in-time delivery. That's pretty much... We only have 3 more left. We only have to rank up 3 more times before we get all our skills maxed out, which is pretty cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, if you like ETS2, remember to hit the like button. It does help me out, and it does let me know that you guys would like to see more. And also, if you are interested, I know I've promoted this a lot, and I don't like it if, you know, it feels weird. But if you guys are interested in a shirt, there will be a link in the description. You can check it out, and you can, you know, see the design and all that. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.